Okay, you know what time it is, right? Time for Sunday school when you see Miss Patty. And do you remember what we were talking about last time? It was about a man and his sons, and they were going to build a big boat. What was the man's name? It was Noah, wasn't it? And why did they need the big boat, and what was it called? It was called an ark, and it was so big because God was going to have it rain and rain. He told Noah how to build it. So we had a song about that, and remember, it's kind of hard for me to sing by myself, so you have to help me. It's going to go, rise, and you can stand up. I'm sitting so that I don't put my head above my camera. Rise and shine. When we shine, we're thinking about God. And give God our glory, glory. We're going to raise our arms up like we're going to give it to God. Are you ready? Here we go. So rise and shine and give God our glory, glory. Rise and shine. Give God your glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God your glory, glory, children of the Lord. That's the chorus. We're going to sing that a lot of times. Now here's the verse. The verse is what tells the story. We're going to sing a few of the verses, but not all of them. We sang some of them last week, so you might remember them. Here we go. The Lord said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody, floody. Lord said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody, floody. Get those children out of the muddy, muddy, children of the Lord. So here you go. So rise and shine and give God your glory, glory. Rise and shine, give God your glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God your glory, glory, children of the Lord. So Noah, he built him an arky, Noah. He built him an arky, built it out of hickory, barky, children of the Lord. So rise and shine and give God your glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God your glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God your glory, glory, children of the Lord. The animals, they came in by twosies. Animals, they came in by twosies. Elephants and kangaroosies, children of the Lord. Are you ready? So rise and shine and give God your glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God your glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God your glory, glory, children of the Lord. And that's all we're going to sing about today. Next week we'll sing about the rest of the song. So, do you remember something else about last week? I told you we were going to do something different. Usually, when we come to real Sunday school, instead of just on the screen, we have playtime. And we have art activities, and we have building with Legos, and we have trains, and we have the jump house. We have all kinds of fun things. And we can't do so much of that with the screen. It's kind of hard. But I know you have fun things to do at home. So this week I said, I'm going to start with a painting. So first we're going to have our song, then we're going to do a painting, and then we're going to stop while that part of the painting dries. And I'm going to do the story and the flannel board and the papers like usual, and then we're going to paint some more. So if you have painting supplies, you could go get them now. Or if you don't have painting and you have crayons, or you have markers, or even just a piece of paper and a pencil, if you want to do some art with me, you can. I'm going to stop the video for a minute and move my computer up to where I do my art. And when you see me again, I won't be in the same room. And I'll do some painting with you, and then we'll have our usual Sunday school stuff, and then we'll finish our painting. So if you want to paint along, now's a good time. Otherwise, you can just fast forward a little bit to where we actually start our story. Okay, I'll see you in a new spot in a few minutes. Okay, now I'm up where I paint. And you're going to notice that when I paint, I put on a paint smock, just like we do in Sunday school. I put on an apron because it helps keep my clothes from getting too much paint on them. And you might be able to see in the background some pictures I have painted. Not this one, but I painted the bear and the eagle. Some pictures that I have painted and some pictures that are painted by other people. I know you guys are good artists. I know it because I've seen you in Sunday school, and also because, look at this. I got some art in the mail this week. Eliza Hook sent me this. Can you see it? Oh, it's kind of faint. It looks like it's done in crayons or maybe with colored pencils. And it's a snowman. It looks like there's maybe a lot of snowflakes and some on the ground here. It's kind of hard to see it in my light. Her big sister Sadie also sent me some art. And this one is brighter colors, so I can see that. And she sent me a love message inside. It says, love XXOOXXOO. I love your class, Miss Patty. Thank you for the papers. Thank you for teaching class every week. I miss you, Miss Patty. I have to say, I miss you kids too. But today we're going to do some painting, and I know we have some good artists because I've gotten some in the mail. I want to show you some art, and then I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm planning to paint. And you could paint what I'm painting, or you could paint something different. Let me show you. Here is a giraffe. I didn't paint the whole giraffe. I just painted the face and the neck. There's a turtle. I didn't paint the whole turtle. Is this the color that a turtle is? No. I got to choose, and I decided I'll put colors on this turtle. One day I painted panda bears with my grandkids. This is my panda bear. But you know, they don't all come out looking the same. This is one of my grandkids' panda bears. And some of the grandkids didn't like their bear, and they just painted over it. And some of them liked it and kept it. That's the way it is with painting sometimes. Here's a colorful elephant, but it's only half an elephant. Sometimes I don't paint the whole animal. Here's a moose. Can you think that a moose, 2 moose on the ark? Wow, that'd be a big boat, didn't it? And here's a funny bird. It's called a Goonie Bird. And a Goonie Bird is what I'm going to paint today, because you can't really make any mistakes with a Goonie Bird. They're just silly. And do you see how it has a dark background? I'm going to start with a dark background. And then I'm going to let it dry while we have our regular story. So to get ready, I have a jar of water. And I have a pretty big paintbrush. You could even use a paintbrush like this, or a paintbrush like this. And I'm going to put my paint on a paper plate so that I can see it easily and get to it easily. Today I'm going to paint on a small canvas. It's not very big because I think maybe some of the kids will just be painting on paper. You can see how much smaller it is. But if Noah took 2 moose or 2 Goonie birds on the ark, they might not have been the same size. They could have been different sizes. So here's my canvas. The first thing I'm going to do, because I'm working on canvas, not on paper, is I'm going to put water all over it. Not a lot of water. I don't want it to drip, but I just want to get it a little bit wet. Because if I do that, the paint will go on more smoothly. You see I have a little bit of paint on my finger there, but it's okay because I'm going to paint this canvas blue. I'm going to turn this so you can see me painting the blue canvas. There it is white, and I'm going to dip my paint in my blue. put my brush in my blue paint, and I'm just going to paint this whole thing blue. Now, if I want to, I can leave the edge white, but I don't like it as well white. So I'm going to paint around the corner too, and on the top. And around this corner. I'm going to have to get some more paint on my brush to paint this whole canvas blue. You can paint your canvas any color you want. Or if you're using markers, you can paint it any color you want. This week I'm painting blue, and I'm going to paint a Goonie Bird. On my blue. I'm making my brush go all the way across. When I stop, I can see white, and I can tell where the brush stopped, and I want mine to not show those brush marks. See if I start right there. Now sometimes I do make circles and zigzags. Today I'm just going to try and make it smooth. And if I decide that this isn't the color blue I want, I might put another color with it. What would happen if I mixed blue and yellow? What color would I get? Do you know? Blue is called a primary color because it mixes well with two other colors. If you mix blue and yellow, you get green. And if you mix blue and red, you get another color. Do you know what color that is? You should try it sometime. The colors that you get when you mix the primary colors are called secondary colors. So when I mix blue and yellow, those are both primary colors. When I mix them, I get green. Green is called a secondary color because you get it by mixing two other colors. I'm doing my edge. I want to make sure I get my whole edge. I'm going to do my other side over here because I've still got some white there. This is going to be blue like I think the ocean might have been when Noah put his ark on it. Might have been gray or green or stormy, but I like to think of it as blue. Okay, I'm just about done. I still got some white spots here. Put a little bit more blue on there. See if I can get some of those white spots out a little bit. When I get this all covered and I'm happy with the way it looks, then I'm going to stop for a while and we'll do our story. Then I'll come back and do the last of my painting here. And it will have dried because acrylic paints dry very quickly. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Let me look at my edges. Did I get this all covered up? Yeah, I'm pretty happy I got that all covered. I got my bottom part covered here. Did I get the top part covered? I think I did. Oh, not quite. I have a little bit more I want to get here. About this other side, is it covered? Let me take a look. Oh no, I have quite a bit I missed on that side, don't I? All right. So just about done getting our background, and now we're just going to let that sit to dry. I'm going to put my paintbrush in my water, kind of stir it up to get that blue off of there. All right, now that's going to sit and dry while we do the most important part. Now we get to have our real story. I'm going to stop this for a minute, pause it, so I can get our flannel board in the right spot. Okay, now we're ready. So, you know who that is, right? That's Noah. And you know what he had done, right? He had built a great big boat. And the boat was called an ark. That's right. So Noah and his family had finished the building of the ark. Looks like it's a little crooked there. Let me see if I can fix this so it's not so crooked for you. Every time I change locations, it gets a little harder, doesn't it? Okay, there's Noah, and there's the ark, and he got to take his family with him. They had worked really hard to build that ark. And they had to do a lot of planning. Noah was able to take his sons and their wives. Look at what they're carrying. What do you think that is? They had to take all the food they would need. Yeah, and what else were they supposed to put on the ark? When it was done, God told him that he had to take 2 of every animal. Let's see what the story says. After the ark was built, God said, Noah, go into the ark now with your family and take every kind of bird and other animal with you. Every kind of bird and other animal? That's what God said. God told Noah exactly how many to take of each kind of animal into the ark. What a big job. The hardest job of all for Noah might have been figuring out how to get the elephants and the other big animals into the ark. So if we had our Sunday school class, we were really in class, I would have had something for you to play with. You know what this is? This is a gutter, and you might use it on the side of your house to make the rain, if the rain comes down, to make the rain flow where you want it to flow. But I would have brought some gutters in and given you some balls and said, let's play with the balls in the gutter. If we leave it flat, where does the ball go? Nowhere. If I tip the gutter, where does the ball go? It rolls down, doesn't it? Why does it do that? It's because we have gravity, and gravity pulls things down. So if you have to make something really heavy go somewhere, is it easier if it has to go on a ramp, or easier if you have to go up steps? A ramp is easier, isn't it? And so God told Noah that he needed a ramp too for his boat. And so Noah probably planned how to do the big animals, especially, on a ramp, because he couldn't carry an elephant in, right? He had to do a lot of planning about where the animals would go and which ones would go in first. And the elephants and the giraffes couldn't just walk onto the ark, so he had to build a ramp for them. We'll pretend like those are in the boat now. He must have planned carefully when each animal would come in and where each animal would go. And he had to do a lot of thinking, but that wasn't all. What else did he have to plan? If you were going to take a lot of animals, what else would you need? He had to plan for all their food too, didn't he? He had to plan for the food and the water and a lot of things to take in there. He had to get the little animals in and the big animals in. It took a long time to get those animals, to get the ark built and to get all the planning for the animals, but he knew how long he had to have. He had to have enough food and water for all those animals for 40 days. Do you know how long 40 is? Okay, put up your fingers. That's 10. Now put up your mom's fingers. Your fingers and your mom's fingers would be 20. Now put up your brother or sister's fingers. So now you have yours is 10, your mom's is 10, your brother or sister is 10, and then maybe your dad's fingers would be 10 more. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40. That's how many days and nights they were going to be on that boat. That's a lot of food they needed. 40 days and 40 nights. So Noah and his family planned all kinds of food for them to take, and all the animals and all the water. And they made many, many trips carrying load after load of water and food into the ark. Then they loaded the animals. God helped the animals come on the boat. And you can act like some of the animals if you want. Hippity hop, hippity hop. Which ones do you think that would be? The bunnies? Can you hop like bunnies? Okay. And then the big gray elephants. Oh, thump, thump, thump. Can you walk heavy like a great big elephant? Or maybe a moose, a big moose. Trot, trot, trot came the horses. Can you trot like a horse or can you gallop? Noah and his family finally got to walk up the ramp. Then God shut the door. Noah's family and all the animals were safely inside the boat. Noah obeyed God. Last week we talked about how he obeyed him to build the ark, and today we're talking about Noah did what was right and good. Even when he had hard work to do, Noah did good. And we can obey God and do good things too, even if sometimes it's a little bit hard. The Bible says, do what is right and good. And that's what Noah did. Next week, we're going to find out more from this story. Put these guys away so I can show you the pages for today. So here's the kids' page. Here's the kids' stickers. And here's the kids' pages. This is from the book of Genesis. That's too far away, isn't it? So if you look carefully, there's some little spaces on here where we're supposed to put some of these stickers. Somewhere we get to put people walking with the food. I'll put one person down here. There's somebody walking with water. There's somebody walking with some fruit. I put the people stickers on in the parts that went up and down. Now I'm going to put on two little squirrels. I think I'll put them right there. And here's the turtles. Put the turtles on over here. Now look what we have. And this sticker says, I can do what is right and good, even if it's hard. On the other side it says, do what is right and good. And this shows these girls in their bedroom, and look at how messy that bedroom is. How What do their faces look like? Do you think they're being happy with each other? Are they treating each other well? I think maybe they're arguing about who's got to clean things up or who made the mess. That doesn't look like they're doing the right thing to me. Let's look at the other side. What good things did these girls do, even though it was hard? What good things can you do to obey God, even when it's hard? You know, one thing God says is to obey your mommy and daddy. And if your mommy and daddy tell you to clean up your room, might be kind of a big job. But do what is right and good. Here's our family page. God made us to do good. Do what is right and good. What things do you think these people are putting in the boat? Does this look like it was hard or easy? Why do you think so? I think it would be hard to just find 2 of the animals. This is one of those where it has the pictures, and every time you see a picture, you're supposed to say that word. Here's the pictures. Noah, his wife, Noah's family, the big boat, water, animals, food, bears, birds, rabbits, elephants. I need to move this a little bit because it's a stretch for me. I had it over there for the flannel board, but it's kind of hard for me to read it from there. Okay, here is Noah. Oh, I need to move my chair too. Okay, this is a small print today. Here is Noah. Here is his wife. Here is his family. Here is the ark God told Noah to build. Why did they need such a big boat? God had a big plan for the big boat. God was going to send a flood of water, but God planned for the ark to hold 2 of every kind of animal. God's big plan would save Noah and Noah's wife and Noah's family and all the animals from the flood when it started to rain. Noah and his wife and his family worked together. They built a big ramp. Then they brought baskets and baskets of food up the ramp into the big boat. Then God told Noah, in a week it will start to rain. The water will start to rise. Bring all the animals into the big boat. Noah's family worked very hard. There were, what are those? Bears that needed to find a place to sleep. Birds that needed to find a place to nest. Rabbits hopped up the ramp. Elephants walked slowly up the ramp and into the big boat. There were many animals to bring, but finally every one of the animals was safe in the boat. Noah and his wife and his family got into the big boat too. Then God closed the door. Everyone could rest now. God had helped Noah's family do good things, even though it was hard work. God helps us too, doesn't he? I have some hard work right now, and God's helping me do it. Here's our prayer. Are you ready? Get your hands ready. Close your eyes and think just like you're talking to God. Dear God, we pray in Jesus' name. Thank you for helping us do good things. When it's hard for us, we know you are there to help us do what is right. Thank you for giving us other people to help us too. Thank you for our mommies and our daddies and our brothers and our sisters and our neighbors and our friends. Thank you for all the people that know you and love you and help us here on earth. Amen. Okay. So now is usually when we have a puppet show, but I have a little game for you today instead. It's kind of like a puzzle. Can you see this? This has got lots of animals hanging on it. And down here is the boat. The big ark, isn't it? And if we look closely on it, we can see, oh, here's two flamingos. And here's the puzzle for you. If I show you an animal from the hanging part, can you find where it is on the boat, on the ark? So here is what kind of an animal? An elephant? Yeah, look at that trunk. And where do you see an elephant on the ark? Do you see one anywhere? Let me move it over so you make sure you see the whole ark. Here he is. He's got a trunk, doesn't he? Yep. So there's how many elephants? 2. That's right. Okay, which one should I do next? How about the giraffe? Okay, here's the giraffe, and where is he on the ark? That's easy, isn't it? You see his head sticking up over there. There's a pair. There's 2 of them. Okay, let's find one that's a little bit trickier. How about the zebra? So here's the zebra. And where is the zebra on the ark? You see him anywhere? A little bit trickier. Did you find him? He's poking his head out of the hole, isn't he? It's like he's looking out a little window there. That's the zebra right there. 2 zebras. That's a pair. Okay, what else do you see on here? Do you see a cow? That looks like a cow to me. Has spots. And where is the cow? I see a lion. Do you see a cow anywhere? Is it peeking out down below? Oh, there it is. It's next to the elephant, isn't it? All right. This one's smaller than a cow. What is this? It has a curly tail. You might have seen them at the fair. Kind of a stubby nose. It's a pig. Can you see a pig anywhere? Where is that pig? Oh, there he is. He's peeking out the other window, isn't he? Right here. There's 2 of them. 2 pigs. This is for matching up pairs. This game is for matching up pairs. Sometimes there's 2 children that look a lot alike. Maybe they were born at the same time. They're called twins. And that's when there's 2 that were born at the same day. They have the same birthday. From the same mom and dad. Okay, here is one. What do you think that is? I think that's probably a hippopotamus. does its nose look like and its ears? Okay, where do you see the hippopotamus? I think it's tricky because this one kind of looks a little bit, right here like hippopotamus, but look, it has something on its snout. Can you see it? It has a horn on its snout. Is it in the windows? Do you see hippopotamus anywhere? I see it. Do you see it? Over here. There's two. Oh, my mistake. That is not a hippopotamus. Oh, here's the hippopotamus. He's peeking out of the window right down here. I made a mistake. That was kind of funny. I was telling you not to go for the one with the horn because that's a rhinoceros. And look, here's a rhino with the horn, and over here is another rhino with the horn. I never noticed that they were both rhinos on there. All right, let's go for the reindeer. Reindeer has some antlers. There's the reindeer. This would be the daddy reindeer. This one can be a little tricky because the mama reindeers don't have the same kind of horns on them. Not sure if we can see the mama anywhere. You might see it and I might not. Oh. Do you think it could be this one? Maybe. Maybe it could be that one. Let's look at the nose. Do those two look alike? Maybe. Well, we just have one more to find, and then I have a couple more questions for you. Okay, do you know what animal this is? That's a sheep. Can you make a sheep sound? I like to go, bah, bah. That's a sheep sound. And where do you see the sheep? Right down here, I see a curly sheep there. Next to the hippo. So let me ask you another question. What other animals do you see that we didn't find a pair for? Or do you see any that are like the hippo, where you see both of them, but they weren't hanging up on top? I see two down here in the waves. I see some seals or some, maybe those are whales or something down there. They didn't have to go in the boat because they could stay in the water. How about up here? Do you see anything up on this part of the boat? They look like ravens to me. Some kind of birds. Now, we said there was a lion. There's the lion, but we didn't see the other lion, did we? That's because the mama lion got broken. But we could just pretend she's inside the ark where we can't see. All right, I think that's about the end of the ark game. I want to show you the back of the ark. What do you see there? Do you see a lot of supplies? I see containers for their food and their water. So we didn't do a puppet show today, but we did play a game. And now we're going to finish our painting. So if you didn't want to paint with us, then you can be all done. And if you do want to paint, we'll go back and work on finishing it. Next week, we're going to do the last part of the story, and we're going to use, remember this, from our Sunday school? It's like lightning, isn't it? Because it's going to start raining. It's going to rain and rain and rain. For how many days? 10, 20, 30, 40 days and nights. That's such a long time. That's about as long as it is from now to Thanksgiving. About. I didn't count the days, but that's about right. All right. I have to move some things here. I think I'll put my Goonie Bird up here so I can see what I'm painting like. All right, there's the Goonie Bird that I'm going to use kind of as a model, but I don't want to paint the same thing I already painted, so I'm going to make my Goonie Bird come in a different way. And remember, you can do this any way you want. You can paint a different animal altogether if you want, or you can paint like me, but you could paint a different color. So I'm going to paint a Goonie Bird, and I want my Goonie Bird to be red and white and yellow. So remember my paper plate, I have blue on it. So I'm going to put some red. Here's some red paint I have. Oh, I got a lot of red paint. I didn't mean to get that much, but it's okay. And I've got some yellow paint here. It's not open yet. There's some yellow paint. I'll put some yellow paint on there. Some yellow paint, and I need some white. Some people like to have music when they paint. I'm not too fond of music when I'm painting. Now I have to decide how I want my Goonie Bird's neck to be. On this one, I made his neck curve from the bottom right up like that, and I figured where I wanted my head. I wanted my head to go right off the page, off the canvas. But today, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I think I would like my Goonie Bird to come in from the side. Put him here. I have to decide if I want him to be this way or this way. I think it might be interesting to have him come in from the side and put his head right there. So I'm going to work on that. Now I have a nice clean brush here. And I think I want my Goonie Bird to be, I have to have a paper towel. My brush is not as clean as I want it to be. I still have some blue on there. Dry it off a little bit. I think I'll make my Goonie Bird red, mostly red, because I put a lot of red paint on here. And I think I'll make his neck come in like this. I'm going to make his neck kind of skinny today. Going to be fatter at the beginning and get skinnier up towards his face. I think I'll make his face be about this big. I'll make him go off the canvas again a little bit. Put a big circle on there for his face. Because I have blue on the background. It's going to take me a little while to put all this red on here. I want his neck to come right up there, like he's kind of stretching in from the side. So it's tipping a little bit. I'm just going to put kind of a goofy bird, isn't he? Call him a Goonie Bird, but he's kind of goofy looking. I'm just going to make a big red ball right there because I want mine to be red. You can make yours any color. I wonder if you're making a Goonie Bird or maybe you're making something else altogether. That's okay, isn't it? I want him to go around the corner. So I'm going to take my red paint here and paint all the way around the corner. Now I have to decide where I want his eyes to be. I think I want his eyes to be kind of goofy. So I think I'll put his eyes kind of like right here, and right here, thing like that. And I think I'll make the eyes really big. All right, now I'm going to do something tricky. Do you see how he has so many colors on him? Some people look at this and they say, oh, that must have taken so long. But it doesn't take that long. What I do is I dip my brush in a lot of different colors. So I want him to have yellow and red and white. Remember when we talked about primary colors? And the three primary colors are blue and red and yellow. And I said if I mix blue and yellow, I will get green. Well, I'm going to put yellow and red together on my Goonie Bird, and because these are primary colors, it's going to make another color. If I want it to be lighter, I'm going to put a little white on there. So I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to put a little bit of yellow on some of my brush. And I think I'll put a little bit of white on some of my brush. All right, now I've got yellow and white. I'm just going to make some kind of like feathers here. I'm not getting as much yellow as I want, so I'm going to put some more yellow in there. Go around the edge because I want him to have a lot of feathers around the edge too, and I'll get a little more white. Just going to make some yellow and some white and dab it. Just going to make short strokes so that he kind of looks like he's got little feathers. Funny looking little feathers, isn't it? And if you had a smaller brush, you could make smaller feathers, but I'm just making big feathers today. I can make them go either way I want. How's he look? He doesn't look done, does he? Well, I want to get some on his face here. I was trying to let his face dry a little bit. So I want it to come out from where his eyes are going to be. And I want it to go this way. A little more yellow. Maybe a little more white. And I'm going to put some that goes sort of up in the air here, off the page. You can make yours any colors you want. Now I'm going to get a smaller brush and I'm going to get a black paint. Because I want to put black on for his nose. It could be this one. I made an orange bill on his, but see how it's outlined in black? And I have his eyes on there too. So for right now, I'm just going to put a little bit of black on there, just so I can kind of keep track of where I'm going to put that nose, that bill. And I'm going to make it sort of like a smile. Down here, it's going to go like this. And I want to keep this bill down like that, kind of up like that. That's where I'm going to paint the bill. And my eyes, I have big Goonie eyes here. We're going to have big eyes right here. Big eyes right here. Yeah, I think he's going to look okay. So now that I know where those are going to be, I'm going to go back to putting in a few more feathers. I'm going to use yellow and white again because those are the colors I chose. I might decide to add some more colors to it, but right now I'm just using yellow and white. And do you see that I'm getting a lot of orange? See right here? That's sort of an orange color, isn't it? How am I getting orange when I'm mixing yellow and white? Do you know why? I'll show you. Remember primary colors. If you put a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow together, look what color you get. What color is that? I have white, so it's coming out a little bit light, but that's an orange. I can make it darker if I put a little more red in. Can you see how red and yellow make orange? I might use orange for my bill. Right now I'm just going to stick with some yellow and some white and put in a few more feathers. If these feathers look too thick to you, you can make thinner ones with a thinner brush. If you want his head to be bigger, you can make some more that go out. I keep saying he, mine's a boy. Is yours a boy or a girl? Do you have any animals at home? I bet you don't have a Goonie Bird. You will when you get done painting today. Let's see here. If you have animals at home, you have to help take care of them, don't you? Imagine what it was like on the ark for Noah and his family to take care of all those animals. There weren't that many people in his family. All those animals had to be fed and watered, and you know that poo-poo had to be cleaned up too, right? That was a lot of work taking care of those animals. If you ever take a dog for a walk, sometimes you have to have a bag that you clean up there. Sometimes they call it scat in animals. All right, how's he doing? He's doing okay. He needs a little more color. I'm going to switch brushes now. Here's my small brush that I had black on. I don't know if I want him to have really red there or orange. I think I'll start with the orange because it's easier for me to make him more red than it is for me to make him less red. Oh yeah, I'm going to want him to be red. I need more contrast here. Okay, he's going to have a red bill. Kind of looks like lips. It's kind of like coloring in a coloring book because we put those black lines in there. He doesn't have as much red up here as I wanted him to have, so I'm going to take my red and just add some more. This is a smaller brush, so it works a little better around the eyes there too. A little more red around him. How's your Goonie Bird looking? You pretty happy with him? Did you make yours come in from the side or did you make yours come in from the bottom? I'd love to see some pictures of your Goonie Bird. You could send me a picture. Well, he's looking pretty goofy. I still have to get his eyes on there. I wonder what color I want his eyes to be. I need a little more yellow up here. I got a little too much red now. There's not really a right way or a wrong way. He just looks to me like he needs a little more yellow. You might think he was just fine without that yellow. Over here he needs a little more red. I didn't quite get my red down here as much as I wanted to. There's a lot of white there. There, now I'm getting some streaks. Okay, he's looking pretty good. I have to decide what color eyes. And you know, I think I'm going to do that mixing of blue and yellow and get some pretty green for his eyes. I know I also want some white on his eyes. This other guy has black. See how his eyes are? He has black with some highlights, and he has some blue and some white. I think I want this guy's eyes to be green. Let's see if I can get a nice pretty green here. Okay, here's my blue. And here's some yellow. I'll mix them up. There's green. Do you see that green? I don't know if that's quite the color I'm looking for. Maybe a little more yellow. Yeah, I'm getting closer now. I want it to be a brighter green. A little too much blue in there. A little more. Uh-oh, I got some of that orange. That will turn it brown. I don't want that. Okay, he's looking pretty good there. That's pretty green. I think a little bit of white might make it even brighter. Yep, I'm getting the color I want now. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. See my green? How'd I get that? I mixed blue and yellow, and then I added white to brighten it up a little bit more. That lightened it, didn't it? All right, I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to paint his whole eye here green, and then I'll probably do some other colors over it. How's that green eye look? You could paint one green eye and one a different color if you wanted. I'll do two green eyes eyes, though. I don't like painting with a coloring book right now because you just have to sort of stay a little bit in those lines. All right. He's looking pretty goofy. I'm going to add some more things here for his eyes, but I have to wait for that green to dry a little bit. And I want to add a little more red to his mouth. His mouth doesn't look quite right to me yet. I want it to come over this way a little more. And I want him to be a little bit brighter. There, that's looking better. I'll bring those together here. Oh yeah, it looks better if I make them come together. Okay, I like his mouth a little better. He could be a little more smiley. Make this come up a little more. He'll be a little more smiley. Okay, lips look pretty good. Could use a little bit more red right in here. Nice thing about acrylics is if you don't like it, don't like something, you just paint right over it. Looks to me like I got too big of a blotch there, so I'm just going to paint right over that. A little more texture and it goes away. Okay, how's he doing? How's yours doing? I'm pretty happy with him, except I have to wait for his eyes to dry. Sometimes a person gets a hairdryer out to make it go faster, but I'm not going to ask you to get a hairdryer out. And you might not be painting with acrylics anyway, so yours might be drying faster. If you're using markers, yours are probably already done. I'm going to take some black, and I want to make some kind of eyelashes here. All right. And I'd like to make this kind of a dark black here. Now, where do I want him to look? Is he looking both eyes this way, a little bit cross-eyed, or is he looking over that way a little bit? I don't know, I think I'll paint around this a little bit while I'm making up my mind. I think I'll have him kind of looking down a little bit. There we go. He's looking pretty good. I think I could use a little more black around his mouth here. That first red that we put on is still showing through. Getting close to finished. All right. It's kind of looking like my Goonie Bird now. I might put a little bit of white. I think I'll put a little bit of white accents there on the eyes as soon as they dry completely. Did you know sometimes artists paint with another part of the brush? Sometimes it's hard to get things exactly what you want with the bristles of the brush, and so some artists take the other end of the brush on the handle, this tip right here. I'm going to put that tip in my white paint. A pretty good batch on there. I'm going to put a little dot right here on his eye. Top on the other eye. Uh-oh. That dot got too big. The other dot is not quite big enough. There. That's the way I wanted it to look. But remember what I said, if you make a little mistake with acrylics, it's so easy. Just go in here and fix this. I can fix it with my paintbrush, or I can take my wet paper towel. Yeah, that was pretty easy. Just put a little bit more black around there. Okay, I think that's a Goonie Bird. You could do other things with your bird if you want. I might put a little bit more white around his lips. White gives a big accent. See how it accents his eyes so much? Put a little white here around his lips, around his beak. That would work really well, except it's still too wet. So, there's my Goonie Bird. How's yours look? Mine looks pretty goofy. Okay. Goonie Birds are supposed to look goofy. Thank you for painting with me. Thank you for Sunday school. I hope you have a good week, and remember, Jesus loves you, and I do too. Bye for now.